We all remember looking up on a Sunday and seeing or not seeing the sun because of that thick Saharan dust. Well, it is now official. It has been a historic dust plume measured in Barbados and Puerto Rico. In fact, the Barbados at the Caribbean Institute of Meteorology and Hydrology along the east coast at Ragged Point, they house the longest dust record globally, and they've seen the thickest amount of Saharan dust passing over that station. Now, there's yet another plume of Saharan dust set to come by. It will also be thick, but it's not set to be at historic proportions. But still, for those with asthma and pollen allergies, this Saharan dust coming into the island chain through Friday and lingering into the weekend will obviously cause further issues. The last Saharan dust plume is now up towards the Gulf of Mexico, heading into the United States. Southern areas of the United States will continue to see that dust pushing in towards the north, eventually reaching towards the east coast as well, towards the Carolinas, and obviously they have potential for respiratory ailments. Now, there's one good news about the Saharan dust is that it's dry and dusty. It keeps all of the moisture away for the most part, and also there's some strong westerly winds, which is not allowing any of those tropical storm waves to develop. So there's no tropical cyclone development expected over the next few days and into the weekend. But we'll still see a couple of those tropical waves coming in. But for the most part, again, that Saharan dust is in there. And we also have those upper level winds stretching all the way out into the Atlantic. So very little is expected out of those systems. So tonight then, still just occasional clouds and some passing showers. But watch for that thick Saharan dust to greet you through your Friday into the morning and afternoon. Also feeling quite breezy across Tobago. More Saharan dust is expected, at least for the latter half of the night. A few early evening showers are still likely around the parts of Trinidad, maybe along the northern range. But overall, you'll notice the hazy sunshine as you go through your Friday. Breezy as well for both North as well as South Trinidad, and also feeling quite warm. Looking at highs of 32 degrees Celsius parts of Trinidad, 33 is likely in western areas. Now on Saturday, there's a brief respite, not much. There's occasional clouds, but still the Saharan dust is there, and then it returns in earnest on Sunday and Monday as we start the new working week. For fisherfolk and mariners, easterly winds of 20 knots, still bringing occasionally choppy seas out there in the Atlantic. 2 to 2.5 meters expected on Friday, and if you are heading out, you've got your high tide at 7:15 a.m. Now, we've been talking about the Saharan dust out there towards the Gulf of Mexico, stretching into the Western Caribbean, still expected to bring hazy skies for the Dominican Republic, at least for the second half of their day. Thick dust is still likely out towards the Leeward Islands as well as the windwards, and then down towards Georgetown as well. Could be seeing that dusty haze pushing through for Friday and continuing into Saturday. So that's your weather, and that's from me.